Okay, we are live. I'm so excited to be back. My name's April Sobral. I am the founder of Retail You and the author of two books now, The Positive Effect and Incurable Positivity. And this is my live LinkedIn show. So I'm really excited to bring it back. And just before we get into this amazing conversation about positive leadership and mindset today with Carolyn, if you join us, even if you're in the feed right now and you're coming in live, or if you find this afterwards, please put your name in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. And also tag somebody and share it with somebody because we're going to have some really powerful conversation today. And it's always great to share it with other people. And so, yeah, that's the show. So I'm excited, Carolyn, to have you on.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Thank you for having me, April. It's an honor. Thank you.
I'm so excited. So I'm going to, share a story about how we met. But like, if you want to just tell us a bit about who you are, like what you do, and then your organization, and then we'll jump into. I'll have a lot of questions to ask you.
Oh, sure. Oh, goodness, that's always hard to answer. So I'm in a lot of different things. So I am a creator of the Vision Project, which is a method to manifest success and happiness. I'm also a member of the Litton Loan Group at First Centennial Mortgage. I am the executive chapter director of Engaging Speakers, which is an organization that helps people speak their way to more business. And I'm the founder and president of Hearts for Hope, which is a charity, a 501c3 charity that helps the homeless in the Chicagoland area.
Amazing. See, I always think it's interesting when you ask people what they do, because when people ask me, I'm like, how do I put that in one
I
sentence? Well,
just
but
kind of
it's the
rolled with.
age that it's the age that we're living in. It's okay to wear multiple hats, and I say that to people all the time, right? Because people have their job, their full-time corporate career, what they're doing, and then they have these other things that they're doing, their passion projects or whatever they're involved in. And I think that's amazing, and I think that's great that you shared all of that because yeah, it's okay to have multiple things. It's just how do you say it in one sentence? That's always the
Thank you.
question.
And it's like exactly, it's just like embracing that it's all embodying that's all of who I am. So yep.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I met Carolyn when we went through transformational training in New York. And I'm a big fan of self-development, personal growth. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm kind of obsessed with it, actually. Like, if I could just get paid just to learn all day, I totally
I am right
would.
with you. It is. It's yeah.
Right. But there's so much power in transformational training, in positive mindset, positive thought process, and how that helps you make an impact on the world. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what you're doing in your impact, along with just, positive mindset, power of leadership, and all of that good stuff. Because I think right now we've gone through such a trying couple of years, and everybody's dying for something fresh, something that they can wrap their heads around, and like just personal development and growth. I know when I talk to people, they all say to me all the time, I just want to be more positive. I want to learn to be more positive, right? Like it's a thing. So yeah, we met in transformational training though, and transformational training was pretty powerful, I have to say.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about that is I know they mentioned like you can experience, a change, and then when you change, it can be easy to go back and change the other way. But once you've gone through a transformation, it's beautiful. Like as an example, you can't go from a butterfly back to a caterpillar. You've actually
Yeah.
embraced that, and yeah, it opens up so many opportunities in the world,
What
really.
do you when you think about like the power of leadership and the power of positivity, right? Power, because I know you just talked about like manifesting, so I want to hear more about that because I do believe in that wholeheartedly. And one of the biggest things I think that was my success when I went from like being a part-time salesperson up to running 250 stores was that power of positivity, that power of manifesting, seeing, having a vision, believing in it. So what are your thoughts on that? I know you teach it, but like, what are your thoughts? How did you get into that? How did you create that? Where did that come from?
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And it really, the positivity, leadership, manifesting, I mean, I'll believe it goes hand in hand, as you know, April. So actually, it's funny. Back in the day, I had done are you familiar with like Don Clifton's Strengths Finder?
Yeah.
The various strengths. So my number one was positivity. So I am just super positive by nature. But I found that, where your focus goes, the energy flows. So just by me focusing on the positivity, and realizing that if I take that and then get very clear on a vision, oh man, you could be unstoppable. Like, I mean, the things I was able to manifest in my life were incredible, including Hearts for Hope. I mean, this was literally, I mean, just an idea. It was an idea to help the homeless. And I had put that on a vision board years ago. And within 1 year, turned it into an official 501c3 charity. So
Wow.
power of
So
positive.
walk us,
Mhm. And
yeah,
then,
walk us through that, because I'm coming to Chicago
mhm.
on June 12th, 13th. Yeah, that week, the Monday. I'm really excited because we're doing an event with a non-agency, and I'm going to be teaching from the Incurable Positivity Sub workshops, and we're doing a donation from the ticket sales to your organization, which I'm super excited about. So everybody needs to buy a ticket just to give you some money to help the homeless. But like, how are you like? How did that come about? Because there's so many people that want to make a difference, that want to do something, and I think they don't know how. When I worked at Starbucks, one of the best things about working there was they taught us how to volunteer, how to get engaged in the community, because they had all these programs about it. And even as an alumni of Starbucks, I can still go in and do volunteering with the stores, actually, which is kind of cool. But
Awesome.
like, anybody watching this, I want you to share your story of how this happened, because it's very inspiring, and it will, educate other people on how they can do it too.
Oh, awesome. So as you mentioned, like April, like definitely having that clear vision, just knowing, what it is you want, like how you want to make a difference. And I feel like a lot of us have something in our heart, right? So it's just kind of like paying attention to where that tugging is coming from. And so I'm a huge proponent of vision boards. I've manifested like amazing things, and it's the power of like your subconscious, the reticular activating system. I mean, all of that at work, and you just feel awesome. I looked at it every single day, and it's between that and certain daily practices, which actually that's the vision project. It's certain daily practices on top of having that clear vision that like pulled me to taking these little baby steps every day, which is incredible. So, things don't happen overnight, but the power of consistent commitment, and it doesn't even feel like work. And I call it the work smarter, not harder, because when it's something that you truly love and you're being pulled to it and it's a vision of yours, you take these daily steps towards that goal, and it actually
What
feels.
what daily what daily practices do you do to create?
Oh, sure. Great. So the vision project, so the daily practices are, meditation. Huge fan of meditation. So I know
Me
it
too.
sounds scary to people, but even just taking 5 minutes a day to quiet your mind, and I get it, and you get it too, right? Your mind is never going to stop thinking of things, but just taking that 5 minutes to not react to things, to just having that to yourself. So daily meditation is one. Going for outdoor walks, huge. I mean, just being outside and embracing nature, getting fresh air. And it's amazing when you take some time to walk, just like the things that come to your mind. Gratitude actually is a huge, huge practice. That's part of the Vision Project as well. Um, and there's just so much to be grateful for. And when you really, truly take the time every day to like feel like actually embrace all the things that you have to be grateful for, you find out that there's so many more things to be grateful for that just come into your life. And it elevates that your vibrational frequency. So again, back
Hmm.
to law of attraction and manifesting. I mean, the more you're at that elevated frequency, the more things just attract you and come your way. And that helps with the positivity. So like all of these things really go hand in hand, but those daily practices are huge.
And Hearts for Hope. So when you decided you wanted to help homeless people,
Mhm.
like, how did that come about though? What kick started that decision? Was it you had an interaction with somebody, or you just decided, woke up one day, was like, I just want to make a difference today? Like, what was it that started that?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. So, actually, I had just noticed that something about me, that every time I would see someone homeless, like walking in the city, that it's that feeling, that gut wrenching, like, oh man, I really wish I could do something more than just give a couple bucks or something. Like it was this pulling on my heart, and just a feeling that no matter what, like we don't know their story, and it's about like not judging and not, um, really just having compassion for everyone. And so I just felt like I wanted to do something more. And it started, that feeling was on my heart for a long time until one day I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do something about this. So my husband, Rick, and a good friend of mine, Terry Smith, we got little baggies and we put little snacks and toiletries and little written notes of encouragement. And we just hit the city and delivered about 50 bags. And it felt amazing. Um, the connection, it was just, volunteering is, it's actually, it's almost selfish, because like the feeling that you get from giving and not expecting anything in return is truly amazing. So yeah, I thought, hey, that would be kind of cool to do on a bigger scale, because it was the three of us and it was fun doing it with the three of us. I thought, like, oh my goodness, this would be amazing if we can get the community together to do this. And lo and behold, it ended up on a vision board. When I was in a mastermind class, I received a lot of encouragement from friends, family, and colleagues. And I'm like, okay, I could figure this out. And lo and behold, it was less than a year that it went from the vision board to like actually receiving the paperwork that we're 501c3.
And how many people have you impacted now? Because you say 50 people, but I know there's more to that story, right? Because that sounds like, oh, there's just three of us going out. But like, you've impacted a lot of people with this.
Thank you. So to date, we've delivered, so since January 11th, 2019, we delivered over 6,000 care packs to people in the Chicagoland area, and involved hundreds and hundreds of members of the community, different churches, different organizations, different companies that have come together and have packed these bags and gone to the streets and delivered them to the homeless and to other organizations that also help the homeless.
See, it's not just 50 bags. It's so huge. It's huge, because I think there's, making a positive impact is baby steps, like you said, and like just getting up and taking one action that then turns into somebody else taking another action and another action, right? And I think that's so key, because so many people can get stuck because they don't know what steps to take. They feel overwhelmed, or they don't know what to take. And like, I like that you said, you had this idea, this pulling on your heart, you followed your intuition, and then you put it on a vision board. So then you had it very clear that other people were now looking at it and supporting you moving towards this, right? What's your goal with this, Carolyn? What's your like big goal?
So goodness gracious. I know like a huge impact can be made, and not belittling what we did. I mean, 6,000 care packs is amazing, but like the bigger picture is like ending homelessness, right? Like at first I was like, okay, they're care packs, there's still something. And lo and behold, through manifestation, law of attraction, I ended up with you, right, in New York City, meeting a bunch of other amazing people who also have it on their heart to help the homeless. And we have come up with an idea that perhaps we can bring this transformational model to the shelters. And I mean, it takes people from like surviving to thriving. I mean, the success stories I've seen from this are absolutely mind-blowing and incredible. They offer the tools and the community and everything that's needed to really support you and each individual with their own dreams. And that is so powerful. So now it's Hearts for Hope, along with a team called Vision to Connect. And we are looking to raise $30,000 to help a wonderful shelter in Chicago called Cornerstone Community Outreach, that's open to having this transformational model on site, which would literally transform people afflicted with homelessness. Incredible.
It's amazing. So that's why I wanted to have you on today, because honestly, this needs to get shared with my network and beyond. One, selfishly, because I'm coming to Chicago and I'm excited about it, because I haven't been to Chicago since I ran David's Tea, which was like, back in 2000, I don't know, 18, 19 was the last time I went there. So I'm excited to come back. And also just to share, excuse me, that always happens to be on a live. Just to share your big goal and your big project, and the link will be put underneath this, underneath the video, so that you can share it with people, and also the link for the, for the event. But I'm super excited. you said to me that you were really positive, right? And I met you and you are always like this, really positive. People say it to me all the time as well. God, you're so positive. How are you so positive? So how do you stay, you said naturally, but I always say positivity is a skill. So I don't know, is positivity a skill or is it natural? We're gonna have a debate about that.
I bet you I think some people naturally are that way, but I believe it can be developed. So it can be a skill. And
Right.
it's gratitude. I have just always been a grateful person. So maybe that's the natural part of it. But gratitude is huge. It's part of the vision project. And I even noticed on the Hearts for Hope website, like part of our vision, like our service is rooted in gratitude. I'm so
Mm.
grateful for so many things in my life. I just want to pay it forward. But like when when people in general are grateful and focus on what there is to be grateful for, you'll find more. And I think the positivity just like naturally flows. So that's my secret.
I love it. And how do you encourage people to be more positive, Carolyn? Like if you come across, because you come across people every day, right? We all have jobs, we interact with people. Literally, I had an experience with my brother this weekend when I was in Colorado, which was funny. And I'll share that in a minute. But like, how do you encourage people to be more positive?
So that I guess that's why I'm so passionate about the Vision Project, because it's really those little things that you do every day and taking care of yourself. That when you take care of yourself, then you're able to better give to others, right?
Mm.
Um, and it when you're taking care of yourself, I mean, it naturally, I feel like the positivity naturally comes. You're getting your personal needs met. Again, the gratitude, getting some fresh air, taking time to focus on yourself and what you want and who you really are. And it's that whole being in alignment. And I feel like when we are in alignment with our true selves and then we're not trying to pretend to be someone else, we're just, we become
More
in that
authentic.
positive state. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I was with my brother, which I absolutely adore. He's my favorite sibling. I can say that out loud. And it's funny because we're sharing a hotel room, right? Because we're on this road trip and he's listening to the news before he goes to sleep. And when he wakes up in the morning, it's absolutely in my world a no. Like I do
No.
not listen to the news. And then all day he'd be like saying things like, oh, that's just going to be so bad. It's not going to be good because we're not going to get there and we're just not going to make it. And like, this is what happened to me last time. And like things would just be coming out of his mouth like this, right? Like not even consciously that
Sure.
he was really doing it because he's a very positive, funny guy. Like everybody loves him. Like he's a chatterbox. He's English. People like our accents, right? So it's easy to make friends wherever we go. But he kept saying things to me. And on the second day of it, I had to go like pause and I'd be like, okay, let's have a timeout. And I said, you know, I don't roll like that. I don't roll with like the worry and the concern and talking about what couldn't happen and what if this goes wrong and this is going to happen. I said, I just let it flow and like just focus on it's going to be okay. And I said to him, when I woke up this morning, I said to myself, and I'm going to say it to you now, I only want to hear good news today. That's what I say every morning when I wake up. I only want to hear good news today. And he looked at me, and he looked at me sideways, kind of like, I don't know if I get this. And then he said, okay, yeah, I only want to hear good news. And then the rest of the day was amazing and it went fantastic. And there was like nothing that went wrong that could have gone wrong, right? But it's so funny because I write about that in the Incurable Positivity about like being enrolled in conversations
Sure.
that are negative that other people are saying, news, or just the way that the conversation goes, and how you actually now, if you are positive, you can exude it and be around people, but how do you help shift people and bring an awareness without making them feel bad, but actually in a way that encourages them and uplifts them? And I think there's so much to be done with that. What you're doing, like helping the homeless, encouraging role modeling this for other people, leading by example, right?
Mhm.
But
100.
like that's a small example for me and my brother, and I could have literally let it go. I could have just listened to it and been like, well, that's just him. But I know the power of positivity, so I was like, I can't, because I can't hear him say this all day, and I know it's happening because he's listening to that news morning and night. It's just going in like this. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if
you're
that happens to
absolutely
you all
right.
day, but
Yeah, I probably got a little deep with that, but like, no, you're absolutely right. Like, be cognizant of who you're hanging around, what people are saying, what words are coming out of your mouth, your, internal dialogue, anything that's negative, that focuses on that, then you're going to end up manifesting that, right? So
Yeah, you certainly,
honestly,
yeah.
like, we are creators of our own life stories. So like, if you're constantly focusing on what's wrong in the world or what's wrong in general or the problem, then you'll get more of that. So of course, I'm not perfect. I'm human, stuff happens, right? But then it's like, okay, I'll take it and I'll say, stop, let's focus on the solution. What do I want to happen? I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit there forever and focus on the problem at hand. So um
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I say that I'm human, right? Like I have like we have 80,000, 80% of our thoughts are negative all day. Like that's just a study that was done. So for me as well, I understand that and I know that, but then I'm always choosing to shift. Like because
Right.
I meditate like you, so I'm choosing to shift. And it's funny because I was sat on the tarmac for 4.5 hours the other night before the plane left, and everybody would have been losing it. And I was just like, gives me 3 hours to meditate. Okay. And then I get off the
Right.
plane this
You
morning on
choose
an
how, but yeah, that situation is what you choose it to be based on your inner dialogue. Like, what are you telling
yeah,
yourself? This is the worst
yeah.
situation, then yeah, but you turn.
And this is so funny. So this morning I get out of the airport and I get on the plane, get in an Uber, and it's literally Steve Harvey's morning show with encouragement, uplifting, and then playing a song. And I was like, see, this is what happens to me. It comes to me because I just choose it all day, every day. It's so funny.
Exactly.
But I'm super excited, Carolyn, to come to Chicago, and I'm super excited to be able to support you in any way I can through the ticket sales, but also not just that, through the project that you're working on with Transformational Group and just making this a bigger thing. So I can't wait to see where this goes. Your enthusiasm and your passion is amazing, and like you've inspired me actually to do more from a giving standpoint. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much, and I can't wait to attend your book signing and everything. And I again love what you're doing. The world does need more positivity, and I think that's, like you mentioned, how do we do that? We just be that, right? We just lead by example and just speak words of positivity and be authentic, and yeah, eventually.
I love what you said about just be that, because actually because we learned that as well in our training as well, right? There's lots of great
Right.
tips we learned, and I was having that moment when, yesterday when I was having some thoughts about things, and I was like, okay, who would that person be? The person that's confident, or I don't know, knowledgeable, or delivering great content, whatever that is. It's like, who is that person who is stepping into that beingness of
Yeah.
that person? I find that helps a lot. And I said that to my brother when we were traveling this weekend. Like, if you want to have good outcomes and you want to have good things in your life, who do you need to be to have that? And he was like, again, looking at me sideways, but I'm like, you're not going to be stressed, right? You're not going to be complaining about things all the time. You got to actually be looking for the good things. He was like,
Right.
okay, I get it, right? So I think stepping into being is a good tip for people as well, if they're trying to wrap their head around how do they be more positive, is just to think about who they want to be to actually create whatever they're going after in their life, right?
Absolutely. And these are just all tools. So stepping in who you want to be, being that person, and all, like, again, the meditation, the going for walks, what you listen to, gratitude, all of those little practices. That's what makes this then become easier and easier. And then you do become that person that you wish to be. And it's really a beautiful transformation.
So how can people find Hearts for Hope? How can people find you? How
Oh,
can they get in touch with you if they want to get involved?
absolutely. So I am on LinkedIn. So please feel free to DM me. Our Could I say websites? Is that like a thing? Can I?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course you can.
So it's hearts-for-hope.com. That's our website. My vision project is vpmanifest.com. But yeah, just feel free to DM me. And yeah, if you want to get involved, especially, we're really looking for people who want to support the homeless, who believe that all humans deserve compassion and dignity. And if you want to get involved in that, come to attend our fundraiser, be a sponsor. Oh, that would be amazing. So we're looking to make a difference.
Amazing. And I'm going to say this again before we wrap up. You can have a positive effect, not just in business as a leader, but just in your community, exactly what Carolyn's doing. And the world needs more people having a positive effect on everything that they do right now. Because when I wrote The Positive Effect, it was really about leadership, and now it's becoming a movement. It's becoming more than that. That's what incurable positivity is. It's a movement to make a big wave of positivity, because we know that, like, we're all connected. And when we do good things and make a difference, we'll have a positive effect on the world that we live in at large, which is amazing.
Right.
So thank you so much. It was so
You're
great to have you
welcome.
on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I can't wait to see you in Chicago and be at your book signing too. And again, yes, the world needs more of this. So thank you, April, for all you do.
All right. And then if you do find this in your feed, please share it, tag somebody that lives in Chicago that could come and attend and support us on this mission. And that wraps up another show for this week. Bye for now.
Awesome. Bye.